Hey guys, this is chasebt694. We're playing in the fourth Reddit community tournament. So we're playing andreiion. I guess that's how you say that. Anyway, so we're in the losers bracket. We both lost our last round, and we bid for sides. Um, we both bid for two, and then on the draw, I got Russia or USSR. Um, so kind of looking at our hand, not a great offhand. We do have the 1/4 op card. That's nice. Comic Con, a couple 1 op cards. So a typical space card, NORAD. We don't want to get that event in there. Not a fantastic headline. So we're probably going to play Olympic Games right here. At least hopefully get on the right track with some ops. So he sets up with fairly standard setup, overprotected Italy, and he plays containment. Okay, so he's gonna have a lot of ops this first round. So hopefully we win this roll. We do. So we start off on the right track with a couple of victory points. Got a couple options here. Obviously, going with the coup of Iran's probably the most usual setup. But what I'm kind of thinking, because we don't have a lot of ops, maybe set some influence in Afghanistan and kind of slow the op disparity down a little bit. So instead of using most of our big ops and trying to coup, we're going to try to use them to spread out, not necessarily attempting to try to race the DEFCON down to 2, which is what typically happens, or a lot of times happens in turn 1. Okay, so looking at that, so we go into Afghanistan. We kind of put the pressure in Asia. If we have the Asia scoring card, he has to be mindful of the fact that if he doesn't respond, we could play the card for 5 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays right here. So he does. He goes ahead and plays Japan Mutual. He's going to go ahead and use it. Instead of the event, he plays just the ops. If he plays an event, it basically is a net of 3 ops. By playing the just ops, he can slam all those ops in Japan, and then he moves up to threaten in the Thailand. So kind of 2 options here. We could have tried to attempt a coup, but instead we're kind of setting up a realignment into Iran. Also, by putting the 1 op into South Korea, we kind of make it a little tougher for him if he wants to play the war card. So that's kind of where we're at there. DEFCON still hasn't dropped down, so let's see here. So goes ahead and plays De Gaulle. He's going to go ahead and slam some ops in there. He has containment. It's a great time and a great way to play De Gaulle. 2 things we're hoped to do, since he gave us an influence in France, is get Algeria. All right. So we went and set up our realignment. We maximized a 1 op card. And we went ahead and realigned him out of Iran. We could have also played that for the event and went ahead and taken Romania, because we've already played independent Reds, which might have been a smart play, but we're still, and then taking Spain because we're adjacent. Because if I had to guess, he probably actually does have Europe scoring card, but I think at this point with our ops, and the cards we have, it's less spread in Europe. Less spread in Asia and Middle East. If he's got Europe, we're just going to have to take the hit. We're going to try to save blockade to turn 2, so that way we can play it and hopefully get one of his decall or destall back out of the deck. So we go in space NORAD. We missed the space. Might have been the time to go ahead and try to coup. And there's the Europe scoring card. All right, so we cooed. And maybe the coup there really should have been Southeast Asia, keeping the DEFCON high, making him worry about it. Um, but kind of my thought process here a little bit is maybe he counter coups and that gives us an opportunity to take a little bit of control into Asia. Or even go into Pakistan or go into South Korea without worried about the counter coup. So it's going to give us military ops, and we win. So that's 2 victory points. Huge. A lot of times you would have seen people try to possibly play one in the Lebanon to be able to make that role not as effective. So he attempts to try to coup North Korea just to get military ops. We're going to go ahead, in case he's got Asia. I can't, because I don't really have a good non-battleground to go into. I guess I could have gone into Taiwan. And then we go ahead and, just in case he's got Middle East, we'll take a little bit of control there. So now we're scored for domination. He's got 1 to scoring card. So we picked up a couple of victory points if he's got the Middle East scoring card. 1 in Asia, but puts us in good stead, having both of the Koreas and then the access to the west part of Asia. It'll be interesting to see what kind of card happens. We've got a military ops, so does he. Held on blockade to be able to hopefully use to help pull out decall or destall in case he gets both of them. Is that you an intervention? All right. So we get both scoring cards that are left, Asia and Middle East. We've got defectors is still in effect. So we've got some great headlines with socialist government, decall, both the scoring cards. We're going to go ahead and play captured Nazis because it's the one that doesn't hurt us the most if he does defector us. And if we're successful, we're going to pick up 2 victory points, which is huge. And I like our tempo here, kind of looking at our hand. We've got some solid ops. We've got some solid events. Hopefully we'll be able to score both these regions in our favor. So even though he does have a so it'll be interesting to see what he plays here. So things to consider. We could have, if we didn't have the Asia and Middle East scoring card, maybe we would have considered playing socialist government or Suez Crisis and really try to flip France. But with having, it's European unrest, so he's just going to knock some influence out. Kind of tells me he doesn't have a great U.S. headlining card. It's not a great headline card, in my opinion. I mean, he's at this point in the game much better using those as 3 ops. So we'll see. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the Middle East victory here. Now we could just base off of access, but it's basically 2 coup attempts to get it down to 2 where we can spread that influence without worried about him coupping us. So we're going to go ahead and score it and then concentrate on really trying to be able to lock in this lock into Asia. So So he's got CIA, and he coups Lebanon, but he doesn't drop the DEFCON, so DEFCON's still at 4. Um, we're going to see. There we go. So kind of the idea is we can knock in Malaysia, and then, if he counter coups here and rolls low and leaves us there, it gives us a chance to kind of reestablish that Southeast Asia. He's coming after it with a big 4-op card, and he nails it with a 5. All right. So that pretty much means that's his card, his country, the rest of the game. We won't be touching that again. But all things considered, I mean, we got him to use a 4-op card into Malaysia. So I mean that's kind of a win. What we're doing here a little bit is going in and slamming decall. He's gonna coup into Thailand, but I feel like we have the tempo here to, go ahead. He's gonna coup. Hopefully he misses it, and we move from there. So he's successful. He rolls a 4. We're going to throw some ops around real quick. We are worried about the Indo-Pakistan war card. We're going to be a little careful how we do this, going about getting Pakistan. Maybe we go ahead and protect it by going ahead and taking Iran. And then, but the mistake we just made is, that works to take it, but I forgot that thing we've been talking about, DEFCON, so you can definitely come in and coup Iran right here, and then it kind of unprotects it a little bit. So where's it go? So we also missed the fact that we could have went ahead and protected our flip Thailand 2 with the China card. So by playing Marshall Plan, we've essentially have given up on Europe. So we're not going to waste a whole lot of ops in Europe. Europe's going to be his. That's fine. It's a region. We're going to try to spend our resources elsewhere. Hopefully, Asia and Middle East, and then hopefully we can get a head start here in Africa and the Americas. Kind of get another shot there. So. And then hopefully something like 5-year plan or something like that, we can maybe discard Europe somewhere in the game. But if we can concentrate, we can definitely lock down Asia, lock down Middle East, and then get a good start in the mid-war continents. We'll be in fine shape. Point wise, we picked up a couple of the quick early points from Olympic Games, military ops. Won one of the war cards. So yeah. So with all that being said, we would have just played the China card, flipped Thailand. We'd probably end up with this thing where we would have scored Asia. So we definitely misplayed this by not going ahead and being able to flip that when we had the chance. But good news is we still have the China card. We're still in great shape in Asia. It's going to come back out. We know we're in good shape. And then kind of looking at our hand, this hand, we just hope we don't get red scared because we have not a whole lot of ops, and it comes to a really bad hand if we get red scared. Nothing event-wise we're really worried about here. We can get rid of duck and cover pretty. So we're going to go ahead and play decall. And we do get red scared. Okay. So, kind of throw the little threat at Thailand. The worst thing is normally we'd be able to just go ahead and flip it right now if we wanted to and give up the coup. But option right now. So we're going to go ahead and coup South Africa, just to drop DEF CON to keep him from cooing. We'll give up a victory point. So, kind of depending on what he does, hopefully he wants to address maybe the Middle East. We're hoping he doesn't just go ahead and slam 3 ops in Iberia. I would assume he would, but hopefully he does not. And then after that, we need to kind of cement our position in the Middle East, hopefully pick up India. So we definitely have some things. We just don't have a lot of ops. We didn't get the blockade play because we kind of misplayed turn 2. So we didn't get D-stall back in. He has D-stall. So we'll probably just play this for one op. Just, kind of hope that maybe later in the game he can throw a wrench into the works if it needs to be. If we need military ops, we could play one of the war cards just to get military ops, have a chance, and we'll definitely space stuff and cover. So, all right. So, really, this is about hopefully, not letting him. All right. So, Warsaw Pact, definitely overprotecting East Germany and Poland. With that, kind of what he does here will kind of show a lot. So I'm assuming since he hasn't, okay, maybe he does. I don't know. It was an interesting play to me. Going ahead and flipping the Southeast Asian country. Maybe felt like he needed it for the country count in Asia as we kind of push. So we're going to go ahead and play Iran too, just to know. We'll wait on Fidel. So by going ahead and playing into Syria, it makes it a little easier for him just to, throw 3 ops and take Syria, take the non-battleground, and then kind of go into Israel, kind of do a presence back in there. So kind of make it the tax for getting back in the Middle East a little bit tougher. He plays socialist government. And with this third op, I like to go West Germany here. Because if Willow Brandt happens later, it makes him have to address it instead of, just playing it and using both those ops somewhere else. It's one of the reasons why we do that. I like to do that at times. So most likely, all of these ops, he's going to do right back to repair. Okay. We'll go ahead and space. We're successful. Now we can space 2 cards. We don't have another card we can space, but we can now space 2 cards. So, next things, we just, this Red Scare hurt. Not a lot of ops. But with that being said, watching how he's playing, I don't think he's got a war card. So now he's not a bad play there. We could counter coup, but we're going to go ahead and place 1 in Iraq. That way, if he takes Libya, we can then place it and take Iran. And then also, he's got Nasser, so maybe we'll also pick up Egypt. So, then we'll just go ahead and play blockade. Get the country. Maybe he'll go ahead and play Nasser, and then we're in an okay spot in the Middle East. So we didn't really accomplish a lot of the things we wanted to do. I think at this turn we really felt like we needed to get India possessed. We didn't do that. We did shore up a little bit of the Middle East. So there's an answer. I was hoping you wouldn't hold on to that. And that puts us in pretty good shape in the Middle East. All right. So he's going to definitely attack Africa. All right. So looking at our hand, we got some access cards in Allen Day. We have Fidel. We got 3 good 4-op cards. U.S. Japan, which doesn't hurt us because he already has it. NATO, ABM treaty. Look at the headline is either take U.S. Japan, U.S. ABM treaty, and go attack Thailand. But what we're going to do, since he's attacking Africa, is we're going to play Cuban Missile Crisis. It's going to drop the DEFCON down to 2. So that way we can then coup Sahara states, to basically protect Nigeria. So he goes ahead and plays CIA, which is awesome. That takes something that we don't have to worry about anymore. Gives us a little more flexibility, where we don't want to necessarily have to protect the China card because of the worrying about CIA. He does get a look at our hand, but we're not really giving anything away right here. If anything, he sees that we get access to, to South America, and we have Fidel. So he sees that we have access to those, but I don't think there's really a whole lot he can do in response to that. And then for us, the one thing we'd probably, if we needed to space something, our man Tehran, that way, hopefully we don't want to get rid of an event like Middle East scoring, for example. Something that benefits has a chance to take points off the board for us. So we try not to play that card. Sometimes it has to happen, or it happens just because of tempo and gameplay. You end up needing to use it. But sometimes if you can, it's a card I like not to play. So he goes into Mexico. We're going to go ahead and use our 1-out card, try to maximize the value of it by cooing here. We roll a 2, knock him out. So would have liked to roll the 3, 4, 5, but a 2 there is actually pretty nice. He can't counter coup unless he takes his influence out of Turkey, which he probably would have if he needed to. He spaces, we will bury you. We're going to go ahead and kind of dispersuade the Islamic ops into South Africa. We did have South Africa unrest, but he might have been able to still go in, try to attack that area. We would have definitely tried to set up a realignment if he would have by using South African unrest. So there's only one battleground, so we're going to go ahead and attack it. Roll a 6. Nice roll. So nowhere else to attack. And there we go. Let's see what he does with those ops. So you kind of feel like he doesn't have agent scoring card because he would have scored as quick as possible. So we need to get those ops in India, but we're pretty confident that's not going to happen right away. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and play Fidel to answer in case he's got Central America. Now, he might just take his first card and try to realign us out. So what, albeit we deal with that if that happens. But he took influence in the region, established a presence, we immediately respond back. So if he had the scoring card, he definitely would have went ahead, kind of dealt with it. Huh. So he's got OS founded, and he goes into Chile. Interesting. So we're going to immediately go in there as well. So went and took Argentina, went ahead and took the other countries in Africa. And kind of my thought process here is, depending on how this rolls, with using our ABM treaty, if we can flip Algeria, then we're sitting in a situation where we can score Africa for complete control, which would be huge. I know he makes the play in South America. Hopefully, we can get Peru and realign him out of Chile. And then we also need to get 2 influences in India. So that way we don't give him just easy pass on the on playing Asia for even. So he doesn't have a scoring card. He might have Middle East scoring card, so he's kind of represented that he might. So we either have 2 choices: use ABM treaty, coup Libya. But man, it's kind of a middle, versus the. Let's just see. Yeah. So let's go ahead. We know we wanted to tackle the Asia play. So maybe we force him to doing something in Asia when he doesn't want to. And then maybe we can then kind of decide how we want to deal with one of these other countries. So he takes Peru, which hopefully will have some tempo at some point to attempt to coup that back and set it up. But it would have been easier if we would have taken it. It's just sometimes there's almost more stuff than we want. But we're going to go, and the more I think about it, I really like this Algeria play. We can coup the penalty roll too. Man, if we could have won that coup, we would have been in fantastic shape. So one of the reasons why we went Algeria instead of Libya, he's got puppet governments early. Okay. So at least we catch a couple victory points because he wasn't able to coup. Kind of looking at this, we've got a couple good things. We got liberation theology kind of attack Central America. We have NORAD, but it's okay because we have Quagmire, so we'll definitely play that. Also, if we can play Alliance for Progress early, that's not a bad thing. So now we get Bear Trap, which isn't the worst thing. We get rid of Voice of America without having to worry about. And so we'll see. So there's Voice, so we're out. Now it'll be interesting to see what he does. Where's his focus? And does he just coup Algeria? Does he coup Panama? So, and he rolls a 1. That's a bad roll for him. All right. So DEFCON's at 2, so we can play NORAD. Kind of almost hope that he plays some influence into Canada, just so that way we can then play Quagmire later. But we'll go ahead. Now we have control of Africa, so we're in great shape there. We're in great shape in Central America, so hopefully we can also throw some influence in Costa Rica. We are going to take a hit from Europe scoring. But you look at what we're about to give up. For the most part, everywhere else we look pretty good. So we're going to take a little hit in points. But all in all, we're in great shape. Great shape in Asia. We're in good shape in the Middle East. We are going to lose Egypt at some point. But great shape in Africa. We're kind of hurting a little bit in South America. But you know what? We got a lot of, at least we're there. We can fight. In great shape in Central America. So kind of looking at the board and colonial regard. So we're going to play flower power 4-out card, just kind of repair all the damage he just did. All right. Could place in Chile, only give them 2 victory points versus the 1. But I think it's important to kind of have a chance to kind of push in Costa Rica. We're also kind of, if we can take Israel too, kind of have a dominant position in the Middle East as well. So I'm gonna probably go ahead and just immediately take the hit on Europe, and then we'll go ahead and play Quagmire, and then play either Nuclear Subs or our man's Ron. We'll just kind of hope. Nice, couple victory point. Let's go ahead and take the hit here, and then maybe our Quagmire can let us play a free Nuclear Subs, or at least even if he's got something else, and get some all. Okay. So it kind of goes after Africa to block our control. Go ahead and play this Quagmire. Maybe he's got some scoring cards he can't pass, but go ahead and get rid of NORAD. So that's out of the deck. We don't have to worry about that anymore, which is nice. And then hopefully we're going to go ahead and probably play Nuclear Subs. So he gets out. He plays D-Stall, which he's had forever. And then I'm going to take Israel to go ahead and attack. And since that scoring card is out there, he's got Southeast Asia scoring. Okay, he has 2. And then plus 2 more because of the. Anyway. Alright. So we've got Africa, which is awesome. So we have a turn here. We have Junta. We kind of let us go ahead and address some of South America, which might be a play. Try to even that out while we still can. We're still going to score Africa for 6. So is it worth trying to battle back in South America even versus, something else? So, So there's 2 plays. We'll go here and just attack Brazil, and then hopefully link it up and just kind of hope that we keep anchor. Or we can go into Venezuela, hope that our coup happens there, and use a 3-out card to take it. So kind of re-looking at my hand, Breslin Doctrine probably would have been a decent headline here too. We roll a 2. All right. The benefit for potentially of putting the influence in our cooing Brazil is just to knock the influence out of there, and then hopefully not letting them go into Uruguay real easy. So could have done that a little bit better, but it is what it is. So look at our hand, things we need to be careful with. As close as it is in Asia and the Middle East, I really don't want to play shuttle diplomacy. The more I play this game, it's just one of those cards that I hate playing because of how tight so many of these regions are. They go from losing 5 6 figure points a lot of cases. So probably I really would like not to play that card. We definitely want to keep Lone Gunman in the deck in case it come back later and bite U.S. in the late war. And then the same thing with Camp David and Static Spells. Middle East scoring card is still out there, so we'd like to hold on and try to keep that from happening as long as possible. So in an ideal world, I'd have like a 3-out card and I'd Kuya. That's what I would like to do. I try to just lock down stability in South America. But the reality is, looking at our hand, so we're just going to go ahead see if we can lock it down this way. And by locking it down this way, hopefully, kind of persuade to play South America for even. They're happy, we're happy, let's roll on. But we didn't really have a great card to play at the exact moment to kind of shore up South America. So we'll see what he does. He spaces, misses, so that's awesome. So go ahead and give us a chance in Africa. Go ahead and score it for 6. So we're starting to feel a little bit better. At this point, I feel like we almost want to hold Resin Doctor to play as the event for next turn. See if we can get by. If we have to play it, we will. And he rolls a 5. And that hurts. So kind of the same boat we were in just a second ago. Just don't really feel like you have the cards to try to get a coup battle here. We're going to go ahead and place Lone Gunman, get it back in the deck for the reshuffle. Hopefully it links up with Argentina to hopefully make it hard for Argentina to leave. Or to realign us out of Argentina is what I'm trying to say. So place Arm Race for the event. So that's 3 victory points his way. I think go ahead and play Shuttle Diplomacy. Got it out of the deck. We can still space again. So I'm kind of leaning towards space, space in Camp David. So this is luckily for us is an event where he's just going to repair versus he gets the event out of the deck. But for tempo in this specific game comes at a good time for us. But we missed again. And then we're probably going to play our man Tehran. We'll go ahead and play it as the event to hopefully, if he does pull out something awesome, we get to move it back. So. He loses. Got our military ops, but we definitely didn't close. Even we could have knocked some out of Uruguay. Would have slowed his tempo down just a second. But at least now we can hold on to President and Sadat. Headline it, and then we could actually space Sadat. Yeah, All right. Okay. So could have been worse. Um, so realign. I mean, it's been reshuffled. Uh, we got Asia and Middle East, which is awesome. We're scoring in both those regions. We also have OPEC there. We have Muslim Revolution, which actually, instead of just spacing Sadat, we can now play it and then get him back out. But we're definitely going to play Breast Doctrine. Oh, brain cells. Take a war card. Not a war card. Would have been nice if he would have taken one of the scoring cards. So if he plays this, he takes Missile Muslim Revolution, and it gets a coup with a 4-op card, which kind of hurts our Sadat expel Soviet still. But he decided just to take the card, coup with it. I guess he was worried about me handing him one of his events and then not being able to address it. So, so, so one thing to be mindful of is kind of the way we're going to play our hand is probably need to go ahead and score Asia. Then we can play Sadat, have 2 ops, we can put 2 ops back in it. Then Muslim Revolution and take the ops out. Kitchen debates to take it, and then score Middle East, score OPEC, and then we'll play Ask 9. So that's the ideal play. Now, granted, he's going to throw some wrinkles there, but that's kind of how we're looking at it. The might have it might have been a mistake though. I think that's still the right play. We're kind of giving up on South America a little bit here, um, but maybe we should have. But knowing well, we've got Middle East, so kind of sticking to that routine kind of works. Still might have been a mistake. Maybe should have went ahead and just taken Brazil first. Um, and because we could still score Middle East without having to do some of the other things we did. So we could take in Brazil. Um, if we passed his first realignment, after that, then we could have thrown some ops into Venezuela and Colombia at the same time. So we'll just see. All right. And then hopefully he spends some ops to flip Egypt. That would be nice at this point. And go and say and score South America. There's 5. So that might have been a misplay. We're going to go Libya and Egypt. Goes in and gives us Egypt back. He can't get to Libya, so then we can use kitchen debates and get into Libya. Pick up a couple extra points that way with the flip. If we can, also, it would be nice. Oh, and he's got Europe. All right, so we've taken the punches. He scored both regions he's good in, and then everywhere else we're good. So we're in good shape. We're going to score Middle East for 6. So he's setting up the realignment in Central America, but kind of looking at our cards, we need to go ahead and score Middle East. Score. We don't want to play Ask Not too quick. Mm, that was quick. Stay strong. So we have to repair our team. So we're gonna go ahead and play Ask Not. We would have liked to have waited a hand, but it is what it is. Um, so we play. Go ahead and take Costa Rica, kind of protect Panama. Help us with a country count stable. Probably not get flipped. And we throw an extra one into North Korea because we haven't seen your Suri. That should be happening, especially since we don't have China card. Oh, that's. But with that being said, we're definitely gonna play OPEC for the points. So at least we're at 6. Don't have to immediately respond. Catch the victory points. We would have liked to have cooed to drop it down to 2. The original play would have been played OPEC for the points, then cooed kind of the end of the turn to get the military ops. But we still benefited more from playing OPEC than we were cooing with it. So that's why we kind of did it. And there's your cheering. I was hoping I was wrong on that. It could be worse. We did throw that extra op into North Korea, so depending on what happens. So looking at what we got now, War Games is awesome. So if we can get some extra points, we're fantastic there. We get some of the things that we don't want: Solidarity, Chernobyl, cards at this point in the game. Much better for us to get. And then Voice of America. So we got some nasty cards, but luckily we get them. Now we keep U.S. from them. So we have Brush War, Cultural Revolution, Blockade. At this point, I think we might actually headline Cultural Revolution just to get the China card back. I don't really have it's either that or play the Brush War now. So he's got a Colonial Rearguards twice. We need to use a 3 or 4 off card here. We want to hold on to War Games, okay? And then it's too early to play Chernobyl. We can't play a 5-year plan at this point. So even though we play for the China card, we're immediately going to play it back. And if he gets the opening coup, he gets the opening coup. It's going to weigh out at it. Which definitely hurts in Africa. But Africa we can always fight back in. But if we could hold Asia and keep that Asia from, getting flipping Asia would be horrendous. So we go ahead. He can flip South Korea. If it does, we're going to coup in Africa, most likely. So it depends on what he wants to do. Does he want to flip a country in Asia, or does he want to have the turn 1 coup? So he does want a coup. He rolls a 1. Nice. All right. Okay. So we're definitely spacing Voice of America maybe we'd like the space solidarity as well. Um, Place Chernobyl at the end of the round. It won't matter. We might even play blockade as an event. We'll just have to see what happens here. Also, looking at brush war, one of the Africa countries might be a good place. Venezuela might be a good pick. Um, Try to even up South America. It has already scored. Ooh. All right. He goes after Algeria. Okay, so he's making a pretty big push in Africa. Makes me think he has the Africa scorecard. So we're going to go ahead and play Brush War. We're going to go ahead and go into Algeria. Come on. And we roll a 5. So we flip it right back, catch a little victory point. So we're still good in Africa. That had to hurt. I mean, if he scores Africa, he has to, it might give us a chance to play War Game. So go ahead and space. Boom. Yes, and we get 2 victory points. We're going to go ahead and take Botswana. Kind of the reluctancy it gives them a space to kind of coup after. But I just kind of feel like he might be racing or might want to race country count in Africa. It's usually a little easier to hold on to that one than it is a few other places. But yeah. I think tempo wise, go ahead and space this as well. As it seems like he's trying to. Well, might play blockade, see if we can catch him in Europe, just to make him have to deal with it. All right, let's see if we can catch him. Get a little lucky. So we had socialist government, got rid of it. Then we're going to play Chernobyl to coup here. So he's got Africa. We should coup here. This is every scenario we're successful. And then if he's got Africa, he scores it right here. Or we'll be in good shape. And then with War Games, we can hopefully play it next turn and get the W. He does not. He has East European unrest. Okay. Which really hurts in a late war. That really puts us kind of behind in Europe. Looking at cards, what we've got War Games. We're going to play We Will Bury You. So going to drop DEF CON. So it's at 2. And then hopefully that will let us, be able to play War Games if he doesn't have UN intervention. And we can win this thing. So he headlines Iran-Iraq war, but he doesn't have great roles on either of those. I felt okay about it. We'll play We Will Bury You. So we're going to go ahead. We can't play war games yet. We got to wait for our 3 ops to pop. But we need to go ahead and protect Poland just in case. So he actually has you an intervention. So he gets out of that. That kind of sucks. So we'll go ahead and coup in case he has Central America scoring. We go ahead and kind of keep that from being a big score. Man, that would have been nice to go ahead and win that little deal. So he plays Shay. At this point in the game, this is actually kind of helpful. Let's see if we can set up a realignment here. Nice. We rolled a 6. Let's see if we can set up something for Root. And we rolled a 5. A 5 and a 6. Nice. So it gives us a good shape in Chile. So maybe we can set up a realignment there. Kind of even up South America would be nice down the stretch. Wow. Okay. I think Goose is back out. But we're going to go ahead and take it back. So one thing to remind the way Goose again, he rolls a 4 this time too. All right. We're going to play terrorism to decrease his hand size, and then hopefully with Latin American debt crisis as well. So he played you intervention, Latin American debt crisis. If he doesn't discard a card, then he has to whatever. So might be able to catch him a little bit here in South America. Luckily, we're heading on the space race. Since we want to hold war games, we're going to go ahead and space 5-year plan. If you ever watch these games, you know how much I love holding 5-year plan SUS, SR. But at this point, holding war games is way more valuable, in my opinion. Plus, spacing a 3-out card. If we would have won, we could have played war games and won. So play it, repair. And then we'll play Latin American debt crisis. So see what he has here. He's only got 1 card left. Bad. So he can't discard a card um, because he doesn't have a card to discard. But he does have the China card. So we're gonna, but going into the last turn, flipping the China card for our use is pretty big. So I'll take that as a win, even if or he might decide to keep it and just deal with it next turn. So it was a win either way. We at least get the China card. Worst case scenario. And it broke for most of them finally too. That's an extra victory point our way as well. So all right. So look at our cards. We have Africa, which is huge. Hopefully we can get some victory points there. Win. We've got Long Gunman, which is a bad time to play it, so you can kind of see what they've got. We could always play Salt Negotiation, pull a card like OPEC, but then you have to get the DevCon back down to 2 before you can play War Games. So we'll keep that in consideration. Okay. And then he plays Tear Down This Wall. Let's see what he's got. So he went for the coup. He rolled a 4, so not one op out. And kind of looking at his hand, flower power, that helps us, but it really helps him more than us at this point in the game. So that's a big 4-op card. He has Red Scare, another big 4-op card. U2 instant, so maybe get a victory point there. We'll just have to play this by hand. We would have liked to have played Long Gunman and Cood Zaire here, and hopefully have Cood it and then been in a position to play Africa to be. As I think it scores for 4 right now. So down the stretch here. All right. So we played our 1-op, placed another 2 cards, took East Germany back. We can also space duck and cover. Maybe get 3 victory points there too. So we're gonna have a couple tries to get some victory points to hopefully be able to win this thing. War Games, not going to final scoring, but even go to final scoring, depending on his last play, we'll be in good shape. All right, let's see what he does here. Always one of these things that's go ahead and take it back just in case we don't ever get to play a War Game. Huh. we kind of what we did there. The reason why I put one in Zaire, one in um, south of Cuba is, if depending on what he does, if he coups it, we're going to play Ortega elected Nicaragua, take him out of Nicaragua, and then coup Honduras, and hopefully be okay there if he's got Central America scoring card. And then hopefully we can play the China card and flip Zaire and then score South Africa for 5 instead of 4. It might even be 6. He loses one on game 1. Yeah, so we score for 6. Nice. Okay, so he's definitely thinking Africa. All right, so we'll go ahead and score it. For 4, we're at 7. We can now play war games, depending on what he does. So if he coups Nicaragua, for example, then we play war games. We win. He plays Central America scoring, which he scores that for 1. So we're back at 6. We can't play war games at 6 because it'll be a tie. We don't really want that to happen. So we space duck and cover for not the win. So that would have given us 3 victory points. We miss out on it. But we're still in good shape, I think, on final scoring. But we have to be a little tricky. We've got 3 regions. He's got 2. But we need to be careful here down the stretch. Plus, we've got a little bit of so he's slamming everything back into East Germany. So we're just going to re-protect it. But what we could do is just go ahead and we need military ops. We could play Indo-Pakistan war card, get military ops, and then if we win that, we'll go to 8. He's going to play, ultimately he's got the Truman Doctrine, which is usually out of the game by now. So nice. So 2 victory points. We get our military ops. We're at 8. Pretty sure he's just going to take us out of East Germany. We play war game, win the game. So kind of what I think is going to happen. We'll see if that does indeed happen. But even then, we're in pretty good shape if we final look at kind of the final scoring cards. We had 6 in Middle East, or 5 in Middle East or something like that, 6 in Asia. We're winning in Africa. So, so we're in good shape if it would have gone final scoring. But we're going to go ahead and play war games. We're going to end the game. And that's it. So, good job, guys. We're on to the next round. We get to live to play another day. Really good game by Andre. And hopefully we'll get to play again down the line. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully guys, plenty to talk about because I definitely made some mistakes. But we made some good plays too. So we'll see you guys next time. All right. Thanks.